Before this story begins, pause for just a second. If you believe love can quietly disappear without shouting, if you've ever felt seen but not held, if you've ever stayed in a relationship that looked perfect while something inside you was starving, then this story is for you. Subscribe to this channel because the stories we tell here aren't loud. They're honest. They stay with you. And sometimes, they reveal parts of ourselves we didn't want to see. Now listen carefully, because I didn't lose my marriage in one moment. I lost it slowly. I never imagined my marriage would fall apart without screaming. No slammed doors, no accusations thrown across the room, no dramatic endings. It became quiet the way the air goes still right before a storm decides where to strike. From the outside, everything looked complete. A warm house, shared routines, predictable laughter at family gatherings, two people who knew how to smile at the right moments. But inside our walls, something shifted. And once it did, it never shifted back. My husband Adam was still there physically, but emotionally, he had moved into a place I couldn't follow. He stopped reaching for me and started watching me. At first, the changes were subtle. He became quieter, more observant, less affectionate. Not cold, just distant in a way that felt intentional. He would listen more than he spoke. Notice details most people overlook. The way I reacted instead of what I said. One night, during a conversation that felt too calm to be safe, he said something that rearranged my understanding of our marriage. He didn't accuse me. He didn't demand anything. He simply said, "I think I enjoy watching people more than participating." The words hung between us. Then he added, carefully, almost gently, "I like watching emotions, reactions, desires." And then, after a pause that felt deliberate, "Watching you," I laughed. Because sometimes laughter is easier than admitting fear. I told myself he was overthinking, that it was a phase, that marriage gets strange sometimes. But phases don't linger. Over time, I noticed things. The way he stood in doorways instead of entering rooms. The way his questions became oddly specific. Who did you talk to today? Who made you laugh? Who kept your attention longer than they should have? What unsettled me most wasn't the curiosity. It was the absence of jealousy. He didn't sound threatened. He sounded interested, like someone studying a pattern. Our intimacy faded, not suddenly, but quietly. Affection was replaced by conversation. Conversation turned into interviews. I felt visible, but untouched, desired, but never held. And something restless woke up inside me. Loneliness doesn't always come from being alone. Sometimes it comes from being seen without being loved. I started craving warmth, connection, the feeling of being chosen instead of examined. And when someone finally noticed me the way I needed, I didn't pull away. Adam never stopped me, never asked directly, never warned me. His silence felt like permission. The man who entered my life wasn't dangerous. He wasn't dramatic. He didn't rush. He listened. He stood beside me instead of watching from a distance. With him, I felt present again. I laughed without rehearsing, spoke without analyzing myself. That freedom was intoxicating, and slowly, without planning to cross any lines. I did. When I came home late, Adam didn't question me. He smiled, asked how my day was. His eyes held something I couldn't name. Approval? Maybe. Or curiosity? That's when it hit me. My husband wasn't losing me. He was studying me. The attention with Evan started innocently. Long conversations, late messages, shared silences that meant too much. I told myself it was harmless, because it filled a space my marriage had abandoned. Adam noticed everything. When I dressed differently, when I came home glowing, when my energy changed, but he never confronted me. And his calm made my guilt smaller. I convinced myself this strange balance worked, that maybe we had redefined marriage without naming it. But deep down, I knew silence wasn't consent. And curiosity wasn't love. One night, I came home later than planned. Adam looked at me and said softly, "You seem happy." The way he said it wasn't loving. It was satisfied. That was the moment I realized I wasn't rebelling. I was performing, and he was watching every step. The change didn't come suddenly. It crept in through absences. Adam stayed out later. His phone disappeared from the table. He smiled at messages he didn't explain. For the first time in months, I felt uncertainty, sharp, unfamiliar. I asked where he'd been. He answered calmly, casually, just like I once had, and I understood. This wasn't coincidence. It was symmetry. "I thought you didn't mind watching," I said. He met my eyes. "I learned from you." I had mistaken silence for weakness. Adam hadn't been passive. He had been patient, observing, adapting, preparing. Now I was the one waiting, the one imagining. And it hurt because being watched is nothing like watching someone walk away. We didn't scream. We didn't fight. We sat across from each other. Two people who confused curiosity with connection. Adam admitted he thought watching would protect him from vulnerability. I admitted I thought being seen by someone else would make me whole. We were both wrong. Because marriage isn't observation. It's participation. And when both people step back, something else fills the space. Distance, temptation, regret. We didn't end our marriage that night, but we didn't save it either. Some truths don't destroy immediately. They linger. Now I understand the story more clearly. My husband watched me because he was afraid to lose himself. And now I watch him. Not with jealousy, but with understanding, because some lessons only arrive when the roles reverse. After that night, nothing exploded. That was the strangest part. No shouting, no dramatic decisions, no doors closing for the last time. Life simply slowed. Adam and I continued sharing the same space, but it felt like we were walking through the remains of something already gone. Conversations became careful, polite, short. We spoke like people afraid of disturbing fragile ground. Days passed. Then weeks. One evening, I finally asked the question I had been avoiding. "Why did you really do it?" Not accusing, just tired. He didn't answer immediately. When he did, his voice was quiet. I thought if I watched instead of reached, I wouldn't risk being unwanted. That confession hurt more than anything else he could have said, because I understood it. He explained that intimacy terrified him, that needing someone felt like handing them power. Watching, observing, staying distant. It made him feel safe, in control, detached enough not to be wounded. And I told him the truth I had been hiding. That I didn't leave emotionally because I wanted someone else. I left because I wanted to feel chosen, because being observed made me feel like an object, not a partner. We sat in silence after that. Not angry, not relieved, just aware. Aware that love doesn't survive without risk. That safety built on distance slowly becomes loneliness. And that two people can fail each other without meaning to. We didn't decide anything that night. But some decisions don't need words. Over time, the space between us stopped feeling temporary. We stopped reaching for each other, not out of resentment, but acceptance. What we had become couldn't be undone by understanding alone. There was no villain in our story. Only fear. Fear of vulnerability. Fear of rejection. Fear of needing someone too much. Eventually, we let go. Quietly. Respectfully. And when I think back now, I don't feel anger. I feel clarity. Because love isn't proven by watching someone live. It's proven by standing beside them, fully present, fully exposed. My husband watched me because he was afraid to lose himself. I walked away because I was afraid to disappear. And in the end, we both learned the same truth. Love cannot survive at a distance.